Now they'll move it to Axe. Look, in the middle, dunk score. The roommates. Ridge to Mormando.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Edvative Learning. If you are an education major or anyone considering a career in teaching, you won't want to miss this. Edvative Learning is an innovative educational consulting company that is revolutionizing the way aspiring teachers prepare for their careers. As a proud sponsor of the Lax Lounge podcast and Cabrini Lacrosse, Edvative is here to help you take your teaching aspirations to new heights. Edvative offers a comprehensive one-on-one coaching program tailored specifically for those interested in entering the teaching profession. With Edvative's coaching program, you'll receive personalized guidance and support to help you succeed in your career. They provide mock interviews, guided job searches, resume optimization, and much more. Their team of experienced educators and career coaches will equip you with the skills and knowledge needed to excel in the competitive world of teaching. One of the most incredible aspects of Edvative's coaching program is their guarantee. Yes, you heard it right. They guarantee at least one job offer within the first 3 months of coaching. That's an amazing opportunity you don't want to miss. For just $250 per month, Edvative guarantees that you will receive at least one job offer. Imagine the peace of mind knowing that your investment in coaching will lead to tangible results. It's an offer you can't afford to pass up. So whether you're a current education major, a recent graduate, or someone looking to make a career change into teaching, Edvative Learning is here to support you and guide you in every step of the way. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to secure your job as a teacher. Visit their website at www.edvative.com to learn more about their coaching program and how they can help you kickstart your teaching career. Once again, that is www.edvative.com.
Welcome back into the Lax Lounge. Nick, we have a pretty special guest, and he's got an awesome name to go along with that. Mr. Nick D'Achille, our boy, welcome onto the show. How have you been doing, my man? We just started, second day of August right here, getting to the end of summer. What have you been up to?
Just soccer, and even more soccer on top of that. Working camps, playing myself, just doing the most, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so you are the first non-lacrosse player that we've had as a guest.
Congratulations.
It's a really cool
honor.
It is.
It's a big honor.
And also, the Knicks officially outranked the Jasons on episodes.
Wow.
Wait, that's Jason
on the Lax Lounge. Friggies.
Well, okay.
They go hand in hand. It doesn't matter what name I would say. We officially outrank you. Yeah, so this is really cool. You know, you're one of the people that when we dropped our first word, I was walking down the hallway in Dixon, and you said our keyword to me, and it was just like, holy shit! Like, this is awesome. I love this kid. And I think a week or two later, maybe we had another podcast out. I forgot. You're like, dude, I want to be on. I'll be on whenever. So we ran through the list of like people that we had in mind. A couple weeks ago, I was just telling you this. A couple weeks ago, I saw that you were on another podcast, Off the Tee, and I was like, holy shit, get him on, right? So shot you a message the other day, and literally perfect timing. You were down. So, dude, we are so happy to have you here. This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be a good episode for sure.
Yeah. So you also obviously are a Cabrini student, and with everything going on, being a soccer player, you have a completely different take than us, right? Your sport's in the first semester, ours in the second. So let me hear how you're feeling about all of that.
Yeah, so when we first heard the news, it was kind of, as you guys mentioned, one of the other podcast episodes, like it was a complete shock. I was actually, you guys know Griff, he sent it in our group chat, and I was driving to school to do some pool therapy with Dustin. As he sent that text that Friday morning, I was in the car driving to go to school, and I was like, what is this? Like, this can't be real. And then I talked to Dustin, we talked about it even some more, and he was like, yeah, I guess it's real, because people were hitting him up and all this stuff. But yeah, it's been really, really weird, to be honest. A lot of guys saying they're on the fence, don't know what they want to do, stuff like that. And I mean, we haven't been anything more but like more welcoming. If you want to leave, especially for the incoming guys, if they want to leave to go pursue something else, I mean, go do it. I mean, we're not going to hold anything against you. You know, it's a weird situation. If you want to join us, you can join us. No big deal. Not going to be a pain for it. And then, we've just been doing our own thing as a team. We're still trying to stay connected. We met up this past weekend, did a little mini photo shoot for our new jerseys we just got. So that was fun. But I mean, we have a lot less people than we would have had. We're at like 26, I think, this year. So it's going to be, a light group, but we're going to be even better because we're all so close knit to each other. So yeah, it's going to be a fun journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is like the people who do stay, that's like the one thing they have all in common is like it's that tight knit. Like they want to stay, they want to be here, they want to finish after that one more year. So, I'm glad the soccer team has that like commitment to.
Yeah. Would you say that there's like a good group of returners that are staying, not just kind of like the seniors? Because I know like with our team, we're kind of like half of our roster is not returning. And it's more that they're moving on to either, other opportunities, or they've kind of decided, hey, like lacrosse really isn't in my 10-year plan. So I think I'm going to go somewhere else and just finish out my school. What's the vibe from your group? Has it been like kind of a majority returners, or is there more of those guys who kind of decided that this is my time to kind of take it a different direction?
Yeah, funny enough. So like majority of our team, especially for this year, is pretty much going to be seniors and graduate students regardless. So pretty much everyone that's a senior and a graduate student staying, they want to play again. From like our incoming guys, I think we had like a class of eight guys coming in, and now we only have 2. So yeah, and we had three rising sophomores leave as well. So, but besides that, I mean, everyone else is staying. I'm pretty sure everyone's ready to win one last championship after we missed out last year.
I love that. And I think that's a pretty good segue into like, let's start talking about your experience as a Cabrini soccer player. So start with like last year, or our freshman year, I should say. You guys go on and win the AEC championship. What was it kind of like to be along the ride for that team? Because that was your first title in a couple of years. Like you've been kind of getting close. You've been making a fight into the playoffs, and you finally got over and qualified for the tournament. How did that feel?
Yeah, as a freshman, it was definitely like just exciting to be in the whole situation. I mean, the guys on the team, they talked about like, we got to work hard. And then as like games went on, it was kind of just a breeze, to be honest. We were blowing teams out, and I was like, damn, like this is what all 4 years is going to be like. It's going to be some nice stuff. And, I was just enjoying it, to be honest. I mean, I wasn't playing much, but I was just being supportive and, cheering my guys on. I just wanted to win everything, hope we could get there. And we ended up doing it. I actually saw minutes in the championship game, so that was big for me and my morale. So I was just excited to be there for the ride.
And what's kind of like your locker room dynamic? Like, is it a very upperclassman heavy kind of hierarchy, or is everyone kind of on the same level? Like going out onto the practice field, how do you guys kind of build that off-field chemistry?
Yeah, so in the locker room, I mean, everyone's always cracking jokes. We're always just being like goofy and just having a fun time. I mean, obviously freshmen have some stuff they got to do, carry gear, fill up water, that kind of stuff. But I mean, we help them out. Like, it's not like I'm going to walk up back to the locker room and just leave all the soccer balls out there. Like, I'm going to help them out and stuff like that. Everyone gets along pretty well. We do this one thing. We have a speaker in the locker room that's got like its own like DJ deck on it. So someone will hop on it, just like start mixing the song that's playing, stuff like that. We just enjoy it. I mean, I don't think there's any beef between people. Everyone gets along pretty well. They treat each other with respect, and that's all. It's a big thing.
I will say
That's sick.
we are locker neighbors, and we can hear you guys when you're pregame. Like I'll go in before, if I'm on the call, kind of like hang out in my locker room, like put my stuff in there, and I'll hear you guys just bouncing music, going crazy in there, getting ready. It seems like you definitely do know how to have a lot of fun throughout the process there.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess another thing that I'm really curious about, because we have like a very different level between like a high school lacrosse practice, a club lacrosse practice, and a college lacrosse practice. What was your transition like coming into a college soccer atmosphere? Like, how different was the practice vibe from what you were used to? Is it like way more intense? Is it a little bit more laid back? Like, how does Coach Dallas structure a practice?
Yeah, I would say, especially with the guys on the team, I would say practice a lot more intense. I mean, people are yelling at you if you don't take a good first touch. If you sky a ball over the net, you're getting laughed at. I mean, you just need to be able to keep your composure, to be honest. I mean, it's hard to not break out laughing or like break down and like almost cry sometimes. Some guys just rip into you and they want to see the worst in you, to be honest. I mean, we're doing a drill like a rondo. I don't know if you guys know what a rondo is. Essentially just like monkey in the middle of 5v2. And if you're in the middle and you're zipping around and you can't get the ball, I mean, people would just start like making fun of you essentially and just saying stuff, and like you just like, geez, get me out of here. I need to get out. I need to get out. So yeah, I mean, it's intense. I mean, we do a lot. We do fitness all the time. We just zinging balls at each other, having fun. I mean, it can be laid back sometimes, especially after games, some recovery, stuff like that. But for the most part, I would say it's pretty intense just because of the guys on the field. They want to make everyone better. So just like that, just keep the intensity high. And that's,
Yeah, so actually, me and you have one thing in common when it comes to soccer, and it's that me and you both played with John Amayew.
yeah.
What was that like? How was he as a player, like on Cabrini? Because I know in high school he was a great leader. He was, I think by far our best player. He was 2 years older than me, same as you. So I only had him my freshman sophomore year in high school. What was that like playing with him?
Yeah, so I don't know if you know this yet, Nick, but John's coming back for a 5th year.
Hell
Dow actually,
Breaking news.
Yeah, he was gonna he said he was just gonna finish up class because he had a little bit left, but Dow was able, because of the school closure, he was like, come on, get back on the field, like we could use you one more year type thing. But yeah, John, he's hilarious, dude. I mean, even off the field, he's just like so funny. He's cracking these random jokes, making fun of other people, stuff like that. And on the field, I mean, he just has like this weird thing where he just keeps the ball like no matter what. It's like almost he's got like sticky glue on his foot. And he does these things where he like jumps in the air and he'll do like some acrobatic kick. And I'm like, how did you do that? Like, how can you stretch your leg that far? But yeah, John, he's great, man. I love him. I love playing with him because he whips out these crazy things. And then off the field, he's a goober, man. He's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny you say that he has like sticky feet. In high school, we played this thing. It's like we called it enders. It was 2 guys were neutral, just like playing offense at the end, and then everybody in the middle, they were playing against each other. And John, he would run north south, just back and forth through everybody, and just pass it to the ender, gets the ball back, do the same thing. And it was like, all right, this isn't fun anymore. But like John was having so much fun because he was just good, and it was fun to watch. But yeah, he was always fun to play with. And now, like, I see him in the halls, I see him at the calf and all that, and always dap him up, say what's up. So yeah, he's definitely the boy.
Yeah, he's a great guy to just kind of see around the building too when it comes to like Dixon, because I'm pretty cool with a lot of the soccer players. They know that I do the broadcast, and that your team also is just like one of my favorite hype guys. Like they're always hyping me up, even when I'm kind of just like, it's like just another Tuesday, like not really anything too crazy. You guys always know how to kind of juice me up a little bit. He's a big guy that, well, he's kind of one of those silent killers in my mind, where like I don't see him too much as like that outland, like he's not like an MJ. Like MJ is very out there kind of personality, and we love him for that. But I definitely know John is kind of like more that reserved. So when he gives you like a little what's up or something, you're like, wow, I earned that shit. But you said a little bit earlier that you've been coaching a lot this summer. Have you been working with a club team? Have you just been doing camps, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I've been doing a couple Villanova camps, working mostly with 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. It's not a lot.
Bless your
Yeah,
soul.
yeah, exactly. It's not a lot of soccer being played there, more playing in the mud, stuff like that. But yeah, this week I'm working Radnor High School boys camp with Dallas, Jalen, and one of our incoming freshmen. That's been quite fun. I have my coaching license. I'm trying to get out there and coach some club ball. It's just hard with the schedule. You got to be there twice a week for practice, games on the weekend. It's not really available for it right now, but it's the route I want to go in the future for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we both coach lacrosse, so it's cool that you coach soccer too.
Yeah, for our avid Lax Lounge listeners, you would know that Nick works with Team 10. I got my CitySide boys out here. We had our last tournament a couple weekends ago down in San Jose, and we actually like popped off. We did really fucking good. We came out in the first 2 games, got 2 solid victories. Third game we played, it's called South Sound. They used to be South Sound Stars, but now it's just South Sound, which is it's Southern Washington. They're kind of like all-star team. And it's one of those where we kind of look at them as like they're the lessers to us. Like we're higher up in the hierarchy, but they gave us a fucking game, and it was under the lights. It was like 8:00 on a Saturday night, because we had a super messed up schedule, but we had back-to-back games, 7 and 8. Come out for the 8:00 game. They were on the other field next to us, and they walked over. They had the music blasting, like they had this hype stuff going on. It was firing me up. I literally like brought my team in and I was like, boys, because they were like kind of getting a little bit nervous. Like they're, oh wow, like they're coming out with energy. It's like, boys, if this doesn't fire you the fuck up, I don't know what will. They're blasting music on your field. They know that you are the alphas and they're trying to walk over here and knock you off your pedestal. You know what we're going to say to that? Fuck no. We're not taking this for an answer. We're going to beat the brakes off of them, go home, set ourselves in the semifinal tomorrow. We all just started going ballistic. And I was like, okay, good hype speech, good for it. Come out the next day, we ended up winning the game by like 2. It was back and forth. Great game. Come back the next day in the semifinal, we play the Seattle Stars. And that's like the 2 top teams in our state are CitySide and Seattle Stars. And like, depending on who you ask, most people would be like, oh yeah, Stars is better than you guys. And we had never beaten Stars in my career, or in my team's career as a group. So we were ready to, make that statement. Another back and forth game. It was the early window and we won with 10 seconds left. Well, we were down by 2 and then rallied off a score. 2 minutes of possession goes by, back and forth, just like great defense, tie game. We get a stop. Our freak midfielder, who I've brought up a few times, Cole Sievers, absolute weapon, picks up the ball on the defensive end, clears it all the way up the field, comes down, dodges through 3 defenders, boom, bounces it home. 10 seconds on the clock, game's over. Like it was awesome. We stormed the field. That was like basically our championship victory right there. Then we get to the championship game and we lost to a 2027 team. But like we were just so proud of our boys. It was a fun weekend. But coaching is, I like how you bring up the kind of commitment part, because that's one of the things that caught up with me this summer a little bit, is like you are traveling around a lot for these practices and these games, and you really have to like structure out your schedule, because especially for me, our practices would be like way down in Seattle and I'm way north of Seattle, so I'd have to be fighting traffic and all that stuff. But now coaching is very rewarding when you're not working with the little kids. I'll be honest. Like we did our youth camp this past week. And that was brutal. I got put down with the young guns, which like no problems against that. But like you said, it's a lot less lacrosse and a lot more babysitting and a lot more just trying to kill time. Like whenever we needed a minute or two to kind of like figure out what we were doing next, I would run out there with my stick and I'd do the Today Show with Coach Fridge, where I'd just call out kids and I'd start interviewing them. So I'd be like, all right, Anthony, come on down. Just ask them, what's your favorite color, man? Blue. That's awesome. Why is blue your favorite color? I don't know. Okay, cool. We're just gonna keep going. Half the answers I got were I don't know, but it was like we're gonna kill 5 to 10 minutes and just kind of figure stuff out on the fly. And that's what coaching's all about, right there, especially for a kid camp.
Yeah, I would completely agree. It's about getting the kids hype, Yeah. This is the best part of the show. Not the best part, but one of the most crucial parts. Nick, think of a draft. Don't announce it. Think of one.
Yeah, we'll come back to it later.
You had one of the, I think, coolest experiences out of anybody I've ever met this past year. And I want you to tell me about it. And you know exactly what it is. So how about you go ahead and tell us?
Yeah, so South Africa during spring break. I mean, it was quite a good one. I loved it.
Yeah. So earlier today, I was wondering if it was during spring break or not. I didn't realize the timeline, but spring break. So our spring break is usually February, which is the craziest.
It's at the end of winter.
Yeah, it's the craziest. Like there's still 6 weeks of winter to go to spring. But yeah, that's probably the coolest place anybody I've met has gone. So you played what? You played 3 games there, right?
Yeah, we played 3 games. I think we won 1, lost 2. We probably should have went home with 3 wins. It was pretty unlucky, some results we had, but yeah, it was a fun time. I mean, aside from soccer, start with the plane. It's killer, dude. 16 hours on a plane. Yeah. It was direct though, so at least we didn't have to do a transfer or anything. But like on the way up, or the way down, technically, whatever you want to call it, on the way there, I sat next to some like random kid. He was like 14 years old. He like was living in America by himself at some boarding school for soccer. And I was like, what the, like, you should play with us this weekend. Like, come on now. But yeah, I enjoyed it. We played at like this one, I forget the names of the teams we played. I think it was like Rigersdale or something. They had like this whole facility, one nice field clubhouse. We played at, we played 2 games there. It was enjoyable. I actually got, they said I won man of the match, for our second game. I got an assist and I drew a penalty that Duddy scored. That was probably like the best game I played, in recent time. But yeah, sightseeing, we saw like Robben Island, Nelson Mandela, where he was at. Our tour guide actually was a prisoner on the island himself, which was pretty cool. Then we had some free time where we walked around the little shopping district. Everyone was just trying to find like a little South Africa jersey. It's pretty much Mission Impossible down there trying to get one, because they just had like rugby stuff all over the place. What else we do? We went zip lining the one day. That was through like the mountains and stuff. That was pretty cool. Then we did like a couple like acts of community service. We did one where we met with like a school of kids that were at some place. Ate food with them, learned like this like traditional song, that kind of stuff. And then we went to another school where we like did like our own little soccer clinic, which was sick. Got to hang out with the kids, do soccer activities, non-soccer activities, stuff like that. But yeah, it was a fun time. We were all over the place, just enjoying ourselves at the hotel, stuff like that. But yeah.
So I know for us, obviously with lacrosse, when we're in the hotels, we get, I wouldn't say rowdy, but we have a good time. What's it like with you guys? Is it the same deal? Like you guys are just bullshitting in each other's rooms, or like what's your structure in the hotel? Especially, I mean, in a foreign country, obviously it might be a little bit different. You don't want to break rules, all that jazz. You want to be respectful. So like, what was it like?
Yeah, so me and Jeff were roommates, so I mean, it was a great dynamic. Yeah, me and Jeff, we lived together already, so enjoy that time together. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was kind of wake up early as hell in the morning, get back late as hell. It was pretty much just going to sleep, to be honest. I mean, there were sometimes we spent some time in the room, especially after a game. We had a little downtime to do, little stuff, but just enjoyed ourselves. Hung out, cracked some jokes, ate at the little restaurant they had there. That was enjoyable, stuff like that. Just trying. I forgot to mention, we did a 14-course African dinner one night, which was it was amazing. I mean, I trust me, I tried every single piece of it. Some guys weren't loving it. I was loving it. It was this big place. It was called like African Gold or something, this restaurant. And then they invited us they had like this own little stage in this separate part of the restaurant. They invited us on. We did like some random dance on stage. The video is probably out there somewhere. I could probably find it for you, but I mean, it was a great time. Living, we don't go to many hotels as a team. I think we did, my freshman year, we did one, and it was because of NCAA tournament. Last year, we didn't do any. This year, we're going to do one because we're playing Salisbury and St. Mary's on like a weekend. So we'll be down there. But I mean, being in a hotel for a tournament was definitely, enjoyable stuff. I mean, it's something I miss from club ball for sure.
That's something that I was going to say, like the whole hotel living experience in college, it's just the best because it throws me back to when we would travel for our club tournaments. Like we're going across the country, our parents aren't there, we're just with all of the other players in the rooms, and like you make your own fun, like we said. Would you say that dinner was like your most iconic moment from that trip? Because when I think of our like spring break trip a couple weeks or 2 years ago, to Virginia, the most iconic moment from that was when Ty Carroll did the wing challenge at the B-Dubs, and it was just crazy how that all worked out. So what was the most iconic moment from your guys' trip where it's like we're never forgetting that because this person did something, or like just as a group we all kind of like screwed up? Like what was that moment for you guys?
Yeah, I would say that's probably one of the key iconic moments from that trip, because in between each dish they would also come in and do like some traditional song with a dance and try to get us involved. I mean, I just enjoyed that part for sure. Some other iconic moments was when we were at the first place I mentioned doing the traditional dance. We did a scavenger hunt around the entire complex, and this is big farm. It's called Yakadek, and we were going through like this corn maze And I think we were in the corn maze for probably 2 hours. I literally was just stuck. It was beating down sun. It was hot. I just wanted to get out of there. I mean, it was hilarious because none of us knew where we were going. We got saved by some dude on the ATV. He had to help us out, but yeah, it was a good moment.
Wow,
So
that's sick.
besides South Africa, what's the farthest you've been from home?
Like for soccer or not for soccer?
Just
Anytime.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I've been to Europe before, so I went going into freshman year of high school. I went to Italy for 2 weeks. That was fun, see family, stuff like that. And then going into junior year, I went to Spain for 2 weeks to play soccer. In an international tournament called the Dynasty Cup. I went with a bunch of kids from North Jersey. Never met them before. First time I met them was on the plane. So yeah, that was a good moment. Enjoyed myself for that too. So yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. So you've been to South Africa and Spain to play soccer.
Yep.
Dude, that's crazy. I've been to Delaware.
That's the furthest you've gone?
I mean, I was just making like.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
I've never been out of
like you've definitely been that further for games. Like, there's no way.
I've been to Ireland, but to play lacrosse, the farthest I think I've gone, I mean, probably Virginia with Cabrini, but playing club level and all that, I mean, Maryland, maybe deep Delaware. I don't know what's farther, but yeah, that's crazy. And that was your junior year. Wow.
Yeah, so that was going into junior year. We played it's a pretty big tournament over in Europe. There's like at least I think it's like 100 countries represented. And you get put in. There's like maybe like close to 20 groups. So it's like each age 20 groups. Group stage matches, just like a World Cup almost. My group, it was us. Then we played a team from like the local region. It was called the Basque region. It's San Sebastian. Probably never heard of it before. And then we played a team from like the Barcelona area, the Catalonia, and then the other team in our group was from Singapore. So yeah, we ended up coming second in our group, which got us out of the group and put us into what they called the Champions League. And then we won our first knockout game against some team from the local area, and then we lost the next game, which was like the round of 16 or round of 32. We lost like 3-1. We kind of lost our heads. One kid got a red card. I got a yellow. A bunch of us got a yellow. Just all over the place. But it was enjoyable nonetheless.
Yeah, that's nuts. I can't even like begin to think about, oh yeah, just casually going to Spain for a little tournament, just kind of like doink around with some people I've never played with before. That's fucking awesome. You brought something up about like a red card. I gotta know, have you ever gotten a red card, and what's the story behind it if you have?
Yeah, so I actually got a red card my freshman year of college in our spring day game. Pretty much
So
it was
like
a
your
ball.
scrimmage?
Yeah, in the play day against
This is gonna be
Arcadia.
good.
Pretty much the ball just got lofted over top of the back line. Keeper came out. I thought I could get it. I just pretty much just extend, like when you're running, like when you extend your leg out, pretty much I just caught him with my studs. He was rolling on. I mean, I never thought I touched it personally. Looking back, it looks slightly worse. I mean, I thought it was just gonna be a yellow, continue on with my day, but ref had other ideas, and
you just came in full karate kick, studs out.
Well, I slowed down. I mean, I didn't think I
wasn't a full karate
sure.
kick, maybe like a 75%, but
I got him for sure, but I didn't think I got him so bad that it would be like that. I mean, is what it is. I mean, I still get made fun of it today. I mean, what's it called? Dow made fun of me yesterday during the camp. He was like, you need to get in goal, and you need to feel the pain that you made that goalie feel. And I was like, all right, let's chill. Like, come on. Come on.
Fred, did you ever cause bodily harm to a goalie?
I mean, I've hit one in the pretty hard and made him drop down, start crying, but I think that's one of those that almost everybody's had to experience that at least once. I do have whenever I'm warming up my goalies, at a camp or something. I always feel bad when I just like sting them on the inside of the hip or something. And if they're not used to it, they're just experiencing this whole new rush of pain that they've never experienced in their life. And they're kind of like trying to tell you, like, yeah, I'm okay. And I'm like, no, you're not, man. Dude, just pop out for a minute, like take a breather. But other than that, I don't think I've done anything too crazy. This weekend, actually, I was playing box cross down in Portland, and I had one of my like defenders, I think, chopped down on like my leg when I was dodging by, and I didn't think of anything in the moment, but I was lined up for the face-off on the next play, and I was looking down, like making sure my foot was behind the line because good guy of the year, I don't cheat. And I saw there was a bunch of blood on my shoe. I'm like, that's weird. Do I have a bloody nose or something? I look down and my entire leg is just covered in blood. Like, obviously he skimmed open like my knee. It looked gritty as fuck. I came off the field, and I went up to my GM and I was like, yo, you should get a picture of this. Like, this is men's league lacrosse in a nutshell. But other than that, like, I haven't broken anyone's arm or anything that I know of. Raising your hand there real quick. All right.
I think it was like U12. I was playing in a summer tournament, took a penalty, and I broke the goalie's hand off the pen. Just ripped it right down the middle. He didn't even move. He just grabbed his hand and started crying.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
actually. Like, that's pretty impressive.
I've watched a goalie run into the goalpost before.
Yeah, stuff like that happened.
I
I
didn't
ran into a
cause it,
fence one
but-
time while I
Wow.
was playing.
That's
I did
unfortunate.
that. Yeah, it was right on the edge of the field, and I tried to whip it across, and I just ran right into the fence.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. I've knocked the goalie out in 8th grade with a lacrosse ball.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
a Nick Ormando rocket right there.
Oh, dude, I was on the run down the middle, like sweep, sidearm shot, right in the face. Like had a helmet on.
Drop.
Had a helmet. He didn't drop. It was like a 5-second delay. And then you see him just like hugging the pole. And it was like, oh shit. But yeah, other than that, Tommy Dunn, shout out Tommy Dunn, one of our goalies for Team 10. It was early summer, dude. We were just like warming up. And I was like, all right, I'm taking a couple on the runs. He was like, all right. So I take one, he saves it. I'm like, all right, take another, I score, take another, come down, shoot it right in the balls.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was bad. Same deal. Like, dude, take a minute, obviously. If you don't want to play goalie today, you do not have to. But yeah, and then next couple days we had practice. He was like, please just don't shoot at my balls. And I was like, I won't, man.
Coach, whatever you do, please don't hit me there again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Shout out Tommy though. Dude, he started playing goalie. I want to say he's an 8th grader now. I think he started playing at 7th grade year. He sticks with it, he'll be a stud. Dude, he's such a quick learner. Really improved this year. So shout out Tommy.
Yeah, we had a moment this summer where our backup goalie, his dad is one of the coaches on our staff. And I think we're coming from transitioning between like stick work and like our first organized drill. And I just got done warming him up. And I think our backup goalie loves to chirp. Like, he is the one guy, he's like our juice guy on the sideline. And he kind of loves whenever he makes a save on me, he'll let me know about it. And then I'm like, dude, you realize I could score on you whenever I want. Like, if I just go 10 miles an hour faster, you're not seeing the ball. But on this one, he said something to his dad, and we're all like, yo, Gerhardt crime. Like, let's see coach shoot on Ryan. So the dad like gets the ball, winds up, pings it right off of like his hip or something, off the pipe in the goal. And it was like, goalie drops down, he's in pain, and I literally just turned to everyone. I'm like, boys, that was 13 years in the making. Like, he's been waiting for this moment his entire life. It was so foul. And then he kind of just shook it off. He was like, yeah, never talk like that again.
Dude, one of the dads for the I think it's the 2016. Yeah, I want to say the 2016. Wait, no. Yeah, probably 26s. I think he played at like Lehigh. It was D1 school. I forget what he said, but he had like a Warrior Warp. He's like, yeah, I love these things, and I'm myself, I'm not a fan of it, right? But he's like, yeah, I love these things. They always stay the same, and I mean, yeah, they do. But he's like, we're playing on Grand Steel. He's like, yeah, if you bounce it right there, it's gonna go top left. And I'm like, all right, like, okay. And he's like 3/4, and the goalie, he's like I'm going to shoot it top left off the ground. And the goalie's like, okay. And he does it 4 times in a row. Same spot every time on a grass field. Pings top left. The first 2 times I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, like this guy's a wizard. And then did it 2 more times and I'm like, yeah, dude, this guy is sick. Every word he said, I listened. It was the coolest thing ever. But it didn't look like he was that guy, which is the best thing. And
Wow.
the goalie was just, I think, mind fucked. But yeah.
All right.
Little story about my summer.
So Mr. Diachilli, I can't say Nick because there's 2 on the call and I'm outnumbered. But what has been you're preparing for this coming season? And I think you had mentioned a little earlier, like you have 25, 26 guys that are going to be coming back. What's your guys' mindset kind of going into this year? And when you hit the ground running, your first day of fall training is a little bit before we get back for the semester. What do you think the energy level is going to be like out on ERDF for those first practices?
Yeah, I think everyone's got the mindset. I mean, since like I mentioned, a lot of the guys are older, won last year anyway, so it's like we gotta win. Like it's a win or go home mentality. I'm pretty sure when you guys said that when DeLuca announced that message for you guys, it's win or nothing, to be honest. And that's what a lot of everyone's been talking about. I remember seeing a message, Nick Lobiondo, he sent a text. He was like, guys, we started in 2 weeks. Like, we're winning, like the whole thing. So I hope you're ready. So stuff like that, people send that. I mean, I'm excited to play. I'm coming back from a slight knock I picked up over summer ball, but I just want to play and get excited. I mean, everyone fires each other up. I mean, we don't have like a dedicated speaker really before games. Tyler Tomlin was that guy. He would just get up on the chair, clap it up, and he'd say a couple words, and that was it. But there's definitely guys that fire me up sometimes, especially when they don't say a lot. People like when Scully says something, you're like, oh, let me listen, because he's another quiet, but when he says something, I need to tune in because it's definitely important, kind of thing. And a lot of dudes get me fired up. I'm ready to fire dudes up. But yeah, we're gonna hit the ground running for sure. Everyone's gonna push each other, make each other better, and we're ready to win it all.
Love to hear that.
I got faith in you guys too. Just hearing you talk about it, it sounds like you guys are locked. So yeah, I mean, best of luck to you guys. I'll be there for it.
Hell yeah. I'll be up in the booth for every game that I can. We'll get the energy going. I don't know why it popped up, but I think because Nick and Duddy, they had their recommitment posts, which I love that your Instagram account is doing that. Shout out Cabrini M Soccer on Instagram. They do recommitments for all the guys coming back for the last year, and they had Nick and Duddy. And I think it led me down a path where I went to Nick's Instagram post where he posted like the highlight of when he had the game-winning goal against Washington College, who at the time was ranked like, want to say 8 in the country, 10 or something really crazy. And you guys knocked him off. Great game on a Sunday. And I was on the call and he said something to me where he was like, yo, this was the call of the year, like good shit. And now I'm kind of like fired up just hearing that. I'm like, yo, I got to come back and just have like banger after banger. Just make sure that every game is our best and we can just go out and have. I was talking about this with my buddy yesterday, actually. That's how I think I got down this track where like everybody's going to be watching these games because you never know when it's going to be the last one. So like there's kind of, I wouldn't say a lot of pressure, but I have to be a lot more precise in my preparation and like kind of how I approach all these games because there's going to be a lot of viewers on them and I'm pumped for that. Like I can't wait to get back up there and kind of have everything not even in my hands but be able to experience it firsthand and kind of be along for the ride. That's what my favorite part of this is. But I guess in that like conversation about prep, like who's your biggest competition this year? Who should we be watching out for the games to circle on our calendar?
Yeah, so our schedule is like definitely a lot harder than it was last year. We picked up York, which is our home opener, September 1st, that Friday night. We play them at home. That's going to be a good game. Hoping a lot of like alumni, like people that I've never even met before. I've met a bunch of alumni before, people I've never even seen. I hope they come. Bring their kids if they have like stuff like that. I hope they come. For conference, definitely Marymount. We went there last year and they kind of just ran all over us and beat us 3-0. we want to get right back at them. We beat them in the semifinals our freshman year for that. But yeah, for conference, definitely Marymount want to get right back at them. Newman too, because they beat us in Penns and knocked us off. That was a very disappointing night, but I just want to get at everyone. I mean, there's not one clear one besides, obviously home opener, those few in conference, but we're just all ready. We're all pumped. Every game's going to be like the last, right? So treat it like that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I like that the mentality with every sport's the same going into this year, where it's, hey guys, like this could be our last game every single game, so let's just ball the fuck out, right? Every practice, everything, And I don't want to. Nah, I'm not even gonna compare it to COVID because we didn't have a warning with COVID. We have a big ass warning this year. We have a whole 365 days before really we have to go to a new school, right? So yeah. Now,
Yeah,
Nick, this is something that I wanted to ask you, and obviously, you might not know where your head's at, but would you play this season and transfer out in the spring to start at another school? Was that something that went through your head? Hey, I college works some semesters. I'm able to switch over. Is that something that you thought about, or just finish out Cabrini for what it is?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about it that much. When I first heard it, I thought it was fake. Talked to my dad about it a little bit. He was like, all right, let's sit down. So I talked to him for a cool little 30 minutes. We leveled up some ideas, and I kind of came to the consensus as soon as the season stops, it's going to go straight talk to Dal, see what he thinks is best for me, talk to my parents again, to see what's best for me. I'm just going to do what's best for me, to be honest. If the best idea is to stay all the way through, I'll do that. If I can jump ship, which sounds weird to say, but if I can leave early and it's a better option for me, is what it is. I haven't even decided if I want to keep playing after this year. That could be a whole another option too. So, everything's up in air, but I'm excited to see what a new path is. But for right now, I can't be bothered about it. I'm just focused on the fall right now.
I think that's a really good mindset to have. And that's where a lot of us are in this whole thing, because everybody's been asking me the same thing. They're like, so what are you doing after this year? And I'm like, well, I know one thing. I'm going to be at Cabrini in the fall, and I'm going to be there in the spring. And then I'm not going to be there in the following fall or the following spring. But where I go from there, that's kind of something that I'm going to play by ear. And like you said, keep up with the people in my network, figure out what's going to be the best move for me. Is that going to another school and going to play lacrosse? Is that, hanging up the cleats and going and focusing somewhere else? The one thing I've been saying is do I see lacrosse being a part of my life in 5 to 10 years as my main, job? I don't know if I'm going to be able to play professional lacrosse. Most likely not, but who knows? Maybe I ball the fuck out this year and everyone's like, hey, actually you can go play D1 lacrosse. And it's maybe I go do that. So you do have to kind of take it by ear, and make sure that you have people around you that are going to set yourself up for success. And I think that's what you have with Coach Dallas. And it's really cool to hear that he's going to kind of guide you out through that whole situation. What's he like as a coach? I've always been curious about that, because I know him as the guy around Dixon, and as someone who's not on the soccer team, being like, oh yeah, he's a soccer coach. He's the homie, he's chill. What's he like on the field?
Yeah, he's not a yeller at all. The only time he yells is when he's actually pissed off. He's not a type of guy to yell to get his point across. He's gonna say hold on, freeze, and he'll question you. He'll be like, all right, why did you do that? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? And he does it a lot in film too. He doesn't mean to, but he says it all the time. He'll freeze something and he'll point you out and be like, why are you doing this? What can you do better? What can you do something else? So yeah, as you know him as a person, chill, relaxed guy, that's kind of how he is on the field. The only time he yells is when we don't get a call our way that's clearly our way, or when he really needs to get his point across. When we're getting slapped around, he's like, look, come on, let's step up our level. Let's be better. But yeah, he's one of the best coaches I've had personally. That's the whole reason I'm here. I loved how he coached and stuff like that. But yeah, he's not a yeller. He gets his point across because you'll listen. He knows what he's talking about. But yeah, he tries to make you think about what you did and what you can do better. So that way, when it happens again, you can change it.
That sounds just like the definition of a soccer coach right there. Like, oh yeah, we're not gonna be a yellow. We're here for the beautiful game. Like, we're just gonna we're gonna think things out real quick. Whereas like lacrosse coaches across the spectrum, I was watching this documentary from Mitchell Pelkey, who was following the best 2025 club team in the nation. And their coach is Mark Millen, who's a legendary lacrosse player, Hall of Famer, played at UMass in the pros, all that. And he's their head coach on the club circuit. And it was after this one game, I think it was 3D New England. They won by 1. And him and the other coach were like going at it. Like they were yelling at each other and like cursing each other out. And he was cursing out the refs. And I was watching this kind of just being like, what's the point of that? Like, what are you getting out of just cursing out all these other people on the field? Or like kind of just, in my opinion, I was like, dude, you're making a fool out of yourself right now. Like, you're not really respecting the game by acting that way. It's one of those things that a lot of lacrosse coaches do. And it always baffles me. Like being on the sideline now this summer, I would see it from the other sidelines where the coach is just acting out of control and then the players start playing chaotic. Whereas like, I only get mad very few times. Not gonna lie, in the championship game that we lost, I was getting pretty frustrated because my guys weren't playing smart. And it's like I was very close. I talked about in a couple episodes where I'm not a hat slammer, but I would take my hat off and like grip it and just be like saying some stuff where I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like we're playing like idiots right now. And it's not the other team. It is all on us. But like I just don't understand that from a coaching perspective of going way over the top on situations instead of just being like, okay, let's think about this for a second. Like, why didn't that work? Oh, okay. Maybe you should listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. Like that kind of shit.
Yeah. Has Kolf ever, like when he was your coach, did he ever get like kicked out? Like, did any of your coaching staff ever get like removed from the field or anything?
I never saw it.
Really? Yeah. Cause Dow got removed from the field. He was told to get off. All he said to the linesman, he was like, hey, you got to call it both ways. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're not giving us anything. You're giving them everything.
I do remember this game.
And then he had to watch. He watched the rest of this game in his office.
Because that was when Bond took over as the head coach from there.
That happened as well. But then it was our freshman year when we were in the championship. Dow couldn't be there because he had COVID. So Bond was the coach for that game as well.
Wow. I think I do remember that because I saw him like walking off the field and I think I was up in the booth and I didn't want to say anything about it because I didn't know, but I like muted my mic and I turned to the camera person. I'm like, did our coach just get kicked out? Like it wasn't even like he did anything egregious, but no, Kolf has never gotten tossed that we've seen. I'm surprised I haven't even seen him like get a flag because he's famous for riding the refs, right? He'll be up and down the field. He has their first names too, which I think
God.
as
Dude,
a former ref,
he knows every like give Kolf the credit. He knows every single rule. And the thing with lacrosse is if you implemented every single rule as a referee, a whistle would be blown every like 10 seconds, right? There's some type of penalty every 5 seconds. I have to imagine when you're on offense and playing defense, right? Like it just happens. But he calls every single one.
Matt.
The one guy had like a 3-syllable name. He had every syllable down, and I was like, "Wow!" Like he's passionate. That's the best word I can say. He's passionate. Like,
but I see
a call.
From
he wants it.
The perspective of the ref because I was a ref in high school. If somebody was calling me out by my first name, like I'd be so thrown off. Like I would hate that because it's literally just turning the gaslights right on you where it's like, hey, you made the mistake here and you're going to admit it. And there was a few times when I would ref where I'd be like, after a play go up to coach where it's like, hey, not going to lie, I missed that call, but we're not going back. We're going forward. So I'll see you on the other side. It was always something that like I'd be saying there like, wow, I low-key feel bad for this guy because Kolf was in his ear the entire game from start to finish.
I would always talk to refs in soccer when I played in high school and then in lacrosse. Only in high school though, you know. But yeah, dude, like refs are cool guys. They're just doing it because they love the game and you know they get some good money out of it. I used to ref soccer. You ever ref soccer, Nick? You ref it?
I mean, I've refed it at like college ID camps and stuff like that. Never like for money though, like for like a soccer club or something, but just at like ID camps, like Future 500. I've worked like 4 of their camps before. And it's pretty much you ref like 6 games in a day. For like a bunch of college coaches to watch. So yeah, I've done that, but nothing like regulated or anything.
Nothing
Yeah,
official.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did the club level. I forget what the like the federation. I think it's a federation, right?
USSF.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, I was a ref for that. My brother, he started doing it. So we have a kid from our high school. He refs in MLS now. His name's Josh Encarnacion. Shout out to him. But he started when he was in like I want to say middle school, and he's one of the youngest ever Americans to become an MLS ref. He does centers in the USF all the time. So yeah, he's actually I forget when the last time he was, but I think he was an AR recently, like within the past 2 weeks for an MLS game. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
my brother, he started doing it. A bunch of his friends started doing it. It's good money, right? And
sure.
it basically was like, dude, you should just do this. So went through it, did it for 2 years. I mean, yeah, good money. I never liked being the center ref because I never liked, getting bitched at for making bad calls because I I love soccer, but I hate when the 13 to 15-year-olds play it like little girls. And it's like, guys, like, yeah, he elbowed you, just elbow him back. Like, don't complain to me. Don't I see it. If you complain, I'm not gonna want to call it. And like, just be a little bit aggressive. And people just didn't like that kind of form. So I always went for the AR. And AR was like $20 less. But I mean, when you're what is that, 16 years old, $20 less really isn't much.
Yes, the for soccer, the Reffing Association and the Coaching Association is both through USSF, which is like the US Soccer Federation. So you can just go through both and get both. So yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure like my brother, he refs college now. He won't do centers, he'll do ARs. But yeah, it's actually funny. He just got a package in the other day, and it's like the new ref jerseys. They got like they just changed them, and he's like, it's all for the money, dude. It's all for the money. They know the people have to buy them. So yeah, and he got like I think it was like 5-6 different colors.
Jesus.
Long sleeve, short sleeve. Yeah, they have purple. Purple's one of the colors now. Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
how they coordinate that, where they probably have to put it. Is it on the schedule with like, hey, come in your green, come in
No.
your yellow?
Nah,
Dude,
it's
so
just you have to bring all of them.
everyone. When I did it, I brought 5.
Bring like a
And
duffel bag just full of them.
yeah, that your flags, like an air pump, just a bunch of like you got to check the ball, the air pressure on the ball sometimes, like just yeah, a little bit too much,
Yeah.
but understandable. That's what refs do.
When I was a ref, I was an MBO my sophomore through senior year, which is master bench official, and then they changed the name to mentor bench official, but I prefer master bench official. And it was literally you get paid $10 more on 7-8 games to do 20% less work because you're standing on the sideline by the box and you're literally the bench official, just kind of evaluating the guys out there. If they miss a call, you can throw your flag. But I would always hate doing that, where like all the coaches they pretty much knew me, so they kind of try to like get me to throw all the flags because they understood that I knew all the rules. But it would be weird whenever I'd have to like kind of overrule somebody, and then you feel like you have all the power on you, and then like you're kind of undermining them. But that's all besides the point. I actually had a funny experience reffing this past week at our camp because I took on the role of I brought my whistle. I'm going to ref all of our scrimmages at the end of the day, which is literally just blow the whistle, make up a bunch of calls to get it to a tie game, force a Braveheart, and then all the energy goes through the roof. So I'm trying to fix these games, not because I bet on them, but because, we got to make sure the kids have fun. And I'm calling this face off. And this one kid, his name was Monkey, which already just legend. Some Monkey's at the face off X. He's like 5-6 years old. And he goes probably 5 seconds before I blow the whistle. And he's like, okay, hey, false start's the other team's ball. Well, he was like, whoa, ref, the other guy went early. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, no, he didn't. Like, I'm right here. You went criminally early. Like, you should be arrested for that. And so he gets super mad, storms off the field, goes and tells his coach. He's like, that ref made the wrong call. That ref said that I went early. The other guy went early. I want to punch him in the face, and then walks away. So the coach, I think we called like a halftime or something. The coach comes up to me. He's like, hey, yo, Fridgie, like, just want to let you know, Monkey's not happy with you. And according to him, he wants to punch you in the face. So I'd watch out. Ironically, Monkey's walking right by me as this happened, and he's storming. He's pouting. He's pissed. So I go, hey, Monkey, come here, buddy. I want to talk to you for a second. I bring him in. He's fuming. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, all right, pal. So you think that you didn't go early on that last faceoff, right? He's like, yeah, the other guy went early, blah, blah, just like making his case. And I'm like, okay, let's diffuse this situation. It's like, well, you know what? You're right. You didn't go early, but your team's up by 2 goals. And like, I'm just trying to make it fair because the other team, you're so dominant. Like, they're not having fun, like they need an opportunity to score too. He's like, but like, and I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm trying to make it so that we go to an overtime, so that we get to a 1-on-1 Braveheart, because that'd be really fun, wouldn't it? He's like, yeah, it kind of would be. I'm like, so I'm trying to help out the other team and get them to tie the game. And it wasn't, I chose you as my victim because I knew you could take it. You're a strong kid. I knew that you'd be able to move on from here. And like, you'd understand that it's for the greater good of the team. And he's like, yeah, I do get it now. And he's totally, I'm just like, oh, so you understand what I'm trying to do? You're going to help me out? He's like, I got you, coach. Fist bumps me, walks away. The other coach looks at me. He's like, you're a fucking wizard. I don't know how you just did that. Completely just made that kid go from wanting to kill me 1 minute to he's on my side and he's going to help me out. And throughout the second half of the game, as I'm like trying to get the other team to help score, he's doing stuff where he's like whispering to the other team. He's like, hey, like, you're going to win this face off. And I was telling him, I'm like, hey, Monkey, like, hey, I got this. He's like, no, coach, I got you. Goes back to work. I'm like, yeah, I should get a Nobel Peace Prize for this. But that's the magic of working at youth camp. You figure stuff like that out on the fly.
Gotta love that. So I think this is the time that we wind down and get into our draft, eh?
Yeah, we're about the hour mark, I want to say.
I believe we are. Nick, fire away. What have you been thinking?
Well, I want to do one food related, but I'm not exactly sure what food ones you guys have done.
We've done fast food. I know that. Okay. I think that's pretty much it for like.
I remember
specific.
You guys did food with the letter G.
Did food, the letter G.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, anything.
I was thinking, because we do it out of 5, right?
We do it out of 5.
Yes. I was thinking top 5 things to have for breakfast.
Oh, yes.
It's a great draft. That's a great draft. Here we go.
Huge breakfast guy here. Huge breakfast guy.
Now, here's the question. So if you pick something, is it more broad or do you have to be nailed on specific? For example, I could say I want bacon, but then you could say you want like a different kind of meat. Like, do I have to say bacon specifically?
Yes.
Like, because I could, all right.
Yeah, you can't say breakfast meat because that takes everything.
Or like, for example, like cereal. Do I just say cereal or do I say a certain type of cereal?
I would say a certain type of cereal. Dude, I think in this draft, now I always feel like specifications is what would make this like a really like strong draft for everybody, because like you said, right, like breakfast meats. Okay, now half of my breakfast that I've ever eaten in my life is gone, right? And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So if like bacon, I can name 5 other breakfast meats out my head.
There you go.
Right. So I think yes, but in areas like
for French toast, you're not going to say, "Oh, can I have the blueberry French toast?" You're not going to say.
Yeah, French toast, and I'd also say like for combinations,
like pancake, like chocolate chip pancakes. You see,
we can play this out. We can have a like council of, oh yeah, okay, we'll let that slide.
All right,
So
I like that.
number one pick. Send it off.
All right. So purely for nostalgia reasons, and still eating it now, I'm gonna have to go with chocolate chip pancakes.
That's a great pick. That's
love it.
up there
I love
with one of the few answers that would be correct.
Yes.
So very well done. How we've been doing this to decide who goes next. If you are familiar, we're gonna have you flip a coin,
Oh,
and then we are going to
coin.
have to try to call it. So you can either do it with a real coin or on like your phone.
use my computer.
somehow. Yeah, exactly.
So Nick, the fun part about this is it's not just I say heads, he says tails, and like one of us is right. We go until one of us gets it right. So
We have to call it.
we
Okay.
have to call it, right? So this could theoretically, this could be the next eternity.
All
It's a
right,
so-
50-50 chance, but
Yeah.
we've proven it is not 50-50.
How are we deciding who calls it
0-6 at one
first?
point.
Who's calling it
Who went
first?
last? Who went first last time?
I won last time. And I think you went first last time.
You go first.
So it's okay.
All right.
I'm going to stray away from the strategy I've been using that has worked. I'm usually a tails never fails, guys. But right now, I'm feeling heads. Give it to
All
me.
right. I'm flipping it right now. So see what Google's got for you. You said heads?
I did.
Yeah, it's tails.
Oh, you're a dick.
What a
All right.
guy! I like that. I like that. All right. Tails never fails. Go.
All right, flipping it.
It's 2 for 2, Freddie.
It's tails.
It never fails. It never fails.
Until it
Fails.
does.
Until it did the first episode.
Yeah. 6 times. The first episode we just said tails every single time. Actually I didn't say heads. I said heads once, but so I believe the second best option next to chocolate chip pancakes. I think it is bacon. I think bacon is the universal breakfast meat. Canada
You know
has
what? Yeah.
ham, but
That
yeah,
is
bacon.
like if you are going to a diner and you're ordering a breakfast platter and they ask, would you like bacon or sausage? You're taking bacon if you're a sane human being, in my opinion. But what you would get on that breakfast platter, the star of the show,
Oh,
the
my
creme de la creme, whatever it will be, whenever, it's got to be the egg. The egg is the superior breakfast food. It is also the most nutrient dense thing that you can basically have throughout your day. Like eggs are so flippin' healthy. It's crazy. And you can do it a variety of different ways. You can have it scrambled, over easy, well done,
Yes.
all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, you saw where I was going with that. Yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. But eggs, my first pick.
Very good. Very good.
Now I've been put in a little bit of a pickle. So I'm thinking, I don't know
What are
whether
you
to be
thinking?
specific or not. So I might go broad to start, and then if you want me to go specific, I will.
Okay.
Because I'm going to take bagel,
Okay.
and I'll go
Yes.
specific if you want.
You do not need to go specific.
Because I was going to take bagel and then kind of go off in the different directions you can use a bagel and use that as like, because of how versatile it is, that's a great pick.
'Cause
So
I
it's
would
a
either
great
go-
pick.
Blueberry bagels are good. Cinnamon raisin bagels are good too. Regular bagels are good. You got a lot of options.
You're forgetting the greatest bagel, the everything bagel.
Everything bagel.
Sometimes it depends where you get it from, and how much is on top. You know, how
Okay.
much is on it.
give you
Sometimes you
that.
can have too much, and it just ruins it.
Very fair. All right. So I think my next one is, I don't think it's everybody's favorite for breakfast. I'm gonna go with French toast.
Took it right. Oh, right away from me.
So we have
Um,
nudies. We have nudies near us, and
Oh,
they do a cinnamon bun French toast. I said cinnamon bun.
Yeah,
Cinnamon
I
bun
was-
French toast.
I was thinking about taking French toast sticks.
That's where I was gonna go to, because I remember the OG like Costco French toast sticks that you could get, and those things were my childhood. Like that was a go-to breakfast before elementary school. Things are fire, they're fluffy, they're cinnamony, they got that sugary money. That's a great picnic.
you.
I'm thinking from here, I'm gonna go with one that's kind of like an underrated pick. that I don't think would really jump off until you have a really good one. I'm going to go with a good biscuit, a biscuit as a side, a biscuit as a combo with gravy, although I'm not a big biscuits and gravy guy. Or even just use it as a bun for a sandwich. We have a place around us called the Rusty Pelican, and they are a local chain that is like a small diner setup where it is sold out on the weekends all the time. You have to reserve seats days in advance, and their biscuits are literally like giant hockey pucks. Like they're massive, basically pillows, and they're the most delicious thing on the planet. So biscuit, taking
Shout
it
out
number
Seattle, man. Shout out Seattle.
two. Yes, sir.
I've been there before, so gotta shout out Seattle. Now it's for my next pick. It's whether if I go with the obvious option that no one's taking yet, or if I go for a little hidden gem.
The obvious
gonna go-
option might be what I'm thinking, but it might not be as obvious as I believe it is.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I'm gonna go with the hidden gem, and I'm gonna go specific here. Actually, yeah, I'll go specific. I'm gonna go blueberry muffin.
I saw the muffin
Oh.
pick coming. I saw
Yep.
it coming. That was gonna be my 4.
I had that one down the list too. I
I
thought
mean,
I could snag
a
it.
blueberry muffin, no matter where you get it from, even when you get it from the grocery store, it always hits.
Great minds
Especially
think
from
alike.
Costco.
Must be the name, must be the name. So I thought the obvious one you were talking about was the waffle, which is what I'm gonna pick. I love a good waffle. Waffles and ice cream, chicken and waffles. Dude, waffles. Delicious. Delicious.
Waffles
I told
and
you
ice cream.
about my the calorie intake I had. I think it was like my sophomore year where I had the 4 Eggo waffles, the fluffy ones, and I put peanut butter and caramel chips with maple syrup on them, and I would just eat it like a sandwich. And it was like 1,200 calories.
Jeez.
Yeah, so good.
That was one of the things that we were like sitting watching. It was either a sports game or a TV show, and he was telling me about this, and I was like, I'm kind of the food nerd where I'm like, I want to know how many calories that is. That just sounds fascinating. So we did the math, and it was something absurd where I just like kind of looked at him with this sick face. So I'm like, you did this every day, or like you would do this regularly. It's a Nick Mormando special. And I think from there, I'm kind of put into a little bit of a sticky situation myself, because what I really wanted to do here is I wanted to take a breakfast sandwich, but now like kind of all of my directions for that have been taken, because I would have an egg on a bagel with bacon and add some cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese, the best.
But Bridget, if you want to take an egg sandwich, you can take a bagel sandwich. That's a breakfast food. You don't
A
need
breakfast sandwich?
Yeah, you can say that. You don't need to specify. Like that's just its own genre of things.
So okay,
So
so I'm taking a breakfast
yeah.
sandwich because
Yeah,
that is
I-
the
That was my next pick. Yeah.
But okay, boom. I'm
Yeah.
very, very happy with that, because I would have taken that number one. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's a great
Because
pick.
that's, I think, my favorite thing on the planet, a good breakfast sandwich. Like I had my first Oregon bacon, egg, and cheese over the weekend on an everything bagel, and it's from this like small like little food truck, and it actually hit very hard. I was extremely surprised because usually we have like horrible bagels out here. But yeah, breakfast sandwiches. I'm very happy.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Transitioning for fourth pick. I think no one's picked it yet, obviously. So I think it has to be done. Might as well just go cereal.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
What would be your specific cereal of choice?
Nowadays it's Special K red berries. That's one of my go-tos. That's
Okay,
what I
Grandpa.
use right now. But growing up, probably Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms, Cookie Crisp, Crave, all that stuff.
Cookie Crisp, CTC, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, all the way.
Of course, yeah. Captain Crunch berries too. That's a good one.
Very good, boys. So
Strong
I
pick.
believe very strong. This, to me, I believe I could take at 5, but there's a lot of things I could take at 5 that I'd be happy with because breakfast is broad. I'm gonna take this because it's, I wouldn't say a regular in my house, right? But people eat it. I think Bridgie, I think I've seen you eat it. Had to. I'm gonna go with oatmeal.
So yes, oatmeal, actually, fun fact, I had that for breakfast this morning. And I was gonna keep that at the end because I thought that I would get some chirps for taking oatmeal. But it's a strong pick. You can make it whatever you want, throw in a bunch of toppings in there. You have a bunch of different flavors. If you really want to get into the bro style, you add a scoop of protein, instant flavor. So that's a great pick. Where I want to go from here is I'm going to take my side. So I kind of have like a breakfast platter that I'm building right now. I don't know if you guys see it quite yet. I have my eggs, I have my main dish, I have my biscuit. You know, you can throw a little bit of jam, maybe some jelly on that biscuit, have it good. But I need a little bit more carbs. I need some hash browns on the side. Hash browns. You can have them as a patty, you can have them as the home fries. They are very versatile when they're done correctly. Magnificent. Hash browns. Welcome to the team.
Wawa's got some pretty good hash browns, so
They do. McDonald's, I think, has very good ones. Big
Yeah,
fan of the
Chick-fil-A.
McDonald's.
Chick-fil-A's up there.
Oh, if you're, ooh, that's a great 5. Oh, I don't know if it'll allow. I'll have 2 ready.
this one is kind of an interesting pick. Not a lot of people have it all the time, but it's a yogurt parfait.
Ooh, yeah.
And
I
I
like
think it's a
that.
little underrated because you can always throw the fruit on top, more granola, a little honey. Something. It's good. It's good. That's it.
I myself had dabbled in the yogurt parfaits in high school. I used to have them in the cafeteria. Very
That
good.
was a calf
Very good.
special when you go in for breakfast. They have the yogurt station, and
Mhm.
every most mornings, grab a little granola, a little fruit, some of that strawberry yogurt that they had. It's pretty fire. You just got to give it a chance.
Yeah, it's a good pick. So I don't think it's gonna fly because you said breakfast sandwich, and it's kind of making me not even want to say it, but the steak, egg, and cheese from McDonald's. I'm just gonna make that my honorable mention before I make my 5. The
Okay.
steak, egg, and cheese from McDonald's, as well as the McGriddle from McDonald's.
So that was gonna be my honorable mention because I don't think that my breakfast sandwich encapsulates a McGriddle because it's
Nah,
so much more than that. It's its own identity.
it's in its own realm of breakfast foods. I think you have everything that's the basics, and then you have the mecca, right? And that's the McGriddle.
Yes, that's the
So
peak of human civilization. Like the fact
that
that we
being
made
said,
a sandwich with pancakes infused with syrup inside. Genius.
yeah, I really think McDonald's hit that hit the head of the nail. So with my 5, I want to give a shout out to one of our previous guests, Nate Mazurek. Just say, in the nicest way possible, F you. It is pork roll, not Taylor ham. I'm done with pork roll.
All righty, let's get the controversy back. We had a lot of opinions on the pork roll versus Taylor ham. And I still don't care. But okay. So I have the last pick here. I think I'm gonna go. I'm missing a sweet right now. And I'm a sweet guy. I gotta have something a little like kind of, pick up the palate a bit. So I'm gonna go with a good Danish. Whether it's a fruity one, you can go strawberry, raspberry. If you just want to go cheese, you can go a cinnamon streusel Danish. I've had a few of those, but a good pastry, a breakfast pastry, it goes pretty hard. So I'm gonna add that to the squad. We got our Danish to round off the team. I think this was an awesome draft.
This was a great idea, dude.
Yes.
Like I said, it comes with the name. We just spew great ideas. But yeah, this was a legendary draft. I think we all got some pretty solid lists. Did you write yours down by any chance, Nick?
Yeah, I did.
He's a pro. He's a seasoned vet. He knows what we do.
He's watched this before. Alrighty, how about you start us off? Here's your 5.
All right, so I've got chocolate chip pancakes. I've got bagel, blueberry muffin, cereal, and yogurt parfait. And then if you don't mind, I'm throwing a little honorable mention.
Please,
As a childhood breakfast, I always was glad when I saw this cooking in the toaster. It's none other than toaster strudel.
Toaster strudel. What a pick.
Toaster
What an
strudel.
honorable mention. It's a good one. That along with the French toast sticks
Yeah, French toast
that
sticks as well.
you said before. Wow, that's a good list, dude. I got Everybody's favorite breakfast meat, bacon, French toast, the waffle, oatmeal, and everybody's second favorite, maybe not second favorite, but on the top 5 because there's not more than 5, pork roll.
Not Taylor ham. Taylor ham is
Not
not
Taylor
on the
ham.
list, but
It's pork.
pork roll is.
It is pork roll.
It is pork roll.
It's Taylor's pork roll.
Yes.
So for my team, I've got the good old fashioned king of versatility, the egg. Honorable mention right there, just easily the omelet. I saw that you were almost going to call me out for that earlier when I was kind of going through the variety. So I knew it was on his mind. He kind of wanted to take that omelet pick.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say breakfast sandwich.
And
I
I did.
wasn't
I
thinking
used
omelet,
that 2 picks
yeah.
later. But the breakfast sandwich is also on the squad with the egg, with whatever breakfast meat you choose. And you have to have the biscuit too. You can use that as the sandwich portion. You can use some jam, spread it all over that. We got the hash brown too on the side. And then for the end, a little sweet treat. We got the Danish. My honorable mention, we mentioned it earlier, but a cinnamon roll. That's like a classic kind of like Sunday breakfast where whether it's the Pillsbury like pocket ones or you're actually doing a full-blown homemade cinnamon roll, like those are a special occasion in any family, and are quite magical. So shout out to the cinnamon roll.
Dude, what a podcast.
Wow. This is the
It was
earliest I think we've ever recorded too. Like
It is
usually
the earliest. Yeah, this is we're noon. I mean, you're early here at your place, but I mean it's
11
2 o'clock here.
right now.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock here. Wow. Nick, thank you, dude. This was awesome.
course.
I know. I mean, we hit you up on a
course.
short notice, but dude, you came out. Great combo. Dude, this is awesome.
And
I'm really happy to
feel
learn
like
about the Cabrini soccer fellas.
Yeah, I know so much more
Have one on.
about the squad. And I have a feeling that this year, because of the circumstances with our school, we're going to be a really tight-knit community of athletes. And I'm very excited for us to kind of bridge some of the gaps that might have been there between fall, winter, spring sports. And we're just going to be one kind of united front. So I think we're kicking it off on a good note here. Any final words for our Lax Loungers or anything you want to mention before we sign off here?
Yeah, I want to say that Liverpool will win this upcoming year's Premier League. Myself, a Liverpool fan, they will win the Premier League. I also want to say that shout out to my fantasy Premier League squad, and hopefully they help me win my fantasy Premier League. I've got a couple boys in, getting it out there. I'm trying to expand, get at least 20 dudes in there. Fantasy Premier League. I'm gonna win the whole thing. Yeah. Shout out you guys for inviting me.
Of course, it was our pleasure. And as always, we have one more shout out we have to make. Nick, give it to our favorite artist.
Before I say it, my brother is going to just hate you. He's a big Arsenal guy. So yeah, shout out Arsenal. But shout out Jules. Shout out Jules. What a guy. Play that
Jules.
shit.
Shout out Jules. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, everybody. Follow the Lax Lounge.
Hit up our website.
Hey, yo, water boy.
Yeah, I'll be stargazing.
I'll be up in the clouds, but I won't come down cause I'll be too faded. Everybody wanna walk that talk, wanna talk that talk like we made it. But they all gon' cap, swear to God I'll make the money right back. Bitches be trippin', don't know how to act. You just be singing, don't know how to rap. I really be running this shit like I'm Owen. She like a wave, I'm loving her motion. It's like I'm slipping straight up on the potion. Water be dripping, it feel like and the ocean. I know that I'm different cause I'm from the other side. She's saying that she want me, girl, that's capping, girl, you lying. Everything I ever did, all I do is right. You could never say it cause you switched up and you lied. Yeah. Had to switch up and you lied. Yeah, I'll be stargazing. I'll be up in the clouds, but I won't come down cause I'll be too faded. Everybody wanna walk that talk, wanna talk that talk like we made it. But they all gon' cap, swear to God I'll make the money right back. Bitches be trippin', don't know how to